Alright, what's happening, YouTubers? This is my 2007 Mustang GT convertible, and it has, how many miles? 77,000 miles. It's still a baby. Really good running car. It's probably one of the best cars I've ever had, and I've probably had more than 20 cars in my adult life. This thing is just fantastic. But, over the past couple of months, I was noticing a humming sound coming out of the left front, and you could tell when you turn the steering wheel, like if you turn the steering wheel in a weaving pattern, turn it to the left and then to the right, you could hear the humming get more pronounced, especially on the left side, on the driver's side. So of course, do the usual Googling and online research, and the front wheel hub and front wheel bearings should be replaced. And so I looked into it. Didn't seem to be that bad a job, and I just completed it. Now I'm not going to show you that part because there's tons of videos on how to do it, but it's really not that bad of a job whatsoever. Here's the old part here, and sure enough, I could feel it, in the bearing down here, especially on the backside. You can feel it. It was a little notchy feeling. So that's obviously where the humming / vibration was coming from. The only advice I can give you is, you'll need a substantial torque wrench or a substantial breaker bar first and foremost, because you got to remove the humongous lock nut, if I can find it. Of course I can't find it, but there's a huge lock nut in the center that holds this to the spindle, and it is torqued down really strong, over 200 foot-pounds. So you're going to need a really sizable breaker bar to get that thing off. But there's some general cleanup you have to do when you reinstall a new one. But overall, not a bad job, not difficult whatsoever. You only use common sockets and wrenches and that sort of thing. Nothing all that extravagant as far as tools you'll need. Putting it back on, this will be set to 220 foot-pounds, which, not everyone's got a torque wrench that can handle that, so you may have to go borrow one from your auto parts store or something like that. And then the brake caliper nut bolts on the back side, those are like 85 foot-pounds, and not much clearance back in there, so you'll need a smaller torque wrench to get that one, which I happen to have. But not a bad job, and I just went and test drove it, and it sounds silent as anything. So if you're hearing a humming sound that gets louder as you go faster, and if the humming sound gets more pronounced as you weave back and forth, going more than 40 miles an hour or so, that probably means you need to replace the hub, on the front. And depending on which side it's more pronounced on, of course, will mean which one you need to do. Mine was clearly on the driver's side, and the problem is solved. Anyway, didn't need to show you how to do it. There are videos on how to do that, with other people. But I just wanted to give you my feedback on the results of the job. 100% successful, not that difficult. And I got other videos on this car. I've done all kinds of just little fix-em-up things and do-it-yourself stuff. Convertible top repair, air conditioning repair, general servicing. There's just other videos I've got on working on this car. And man, if you're looking for a really, really freaking good, the more modern, what you'd say, muscle cars, I highly recommend one of these. Really, really good car, great looking. This is the model that kind of started off that new retro looking muscle car back in 2005. This happens to be an 07. Not many problems with it whatsoever, other than just regular maintenance. So I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a great V8 retro muscle car that's not very expensive, get you one of these. You will be as happy as I am, because it's one of the best cars I've ever had.